So black Republican Congressman Wesley Hunt from Texas absolutely nukes Bill Maher's entire panel of virtue signaling self-righteous leftists. Now, the number one Achilles heel to the pretentious left, besides lacking a shred of common sense, is their incessant need to morally grandstand. They have to tell people what to think. They have to tell people what they ought to be offended by, especially black people. And they always get hit with a seismic reality check when they meet a black person who isn't brainwashed by victimhood ideology, possesses common sense, and doesn't need arrogant liberals telling them what they need to think. Now, before we get into this video, I have a major announcement. Yesterday, I became a father. Mickey gave birth to our first child, a girl. She is 8 pounds, 11 ounces, 22 inches long, and the most beautiful and happy baby I've ever seen. Mickey is healthy, the baby is healthy, and we are excited to start our family. You guys know me, I love words, but yet I was absolutely speechless in the moment. I am unable to articulate the profoundness of seeing my daughter be born. And I see you guys as a family, so I had to share this news with you. And because I see you guys as a family, I wanted to give everybody a chance to participate in loving this baby. So if anybody wants to donate to her diaper fund, I'll provide a link in the description to Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, and if there's another way you would like to donate that I didn't provide, you can always just DM me on X. But let's get into Wesley Hunt explaining to the panel why black people moved so significantly to Donald Trump.
For Wesley, what was behind the rightward shift of black men toward Trump in the last election?
I think I touched on that a little bit. I think whenever you have a candidate like Kamala Harris, that clearly was not the choice of the Democrat Party, when she got shoehorned into that space, and then you tried to roll out Megan Thee Stallion and Lil Jon and the East Side Boys, and everybody was trying to say, hey, black men, let's vote for this now. I mean, it just really didn't work.
Well, most of them still did.
Well, one in three black men in the state of Texas voted for President Trump.
Okay, well, let's use men and in the state.
Well, I'm being very specific here because it does matter. We are seeing a seismic shift, and that's the most votes, the highest vote that we got in the Republican Party in the history.
No doubt about it. Trump did better with minorities across the board each time he ran.
So every black person I know that I spoke with saw Kamala Harris as a fraudster, trying to pretend to be black, trying to pretend to have any cultural connection to the plight of regular, everyday black Americans, when she was a child of 2 Stanford professors and went to prep school in Canada. And every single black person with a brain, when they saw Kamala Harris bring out Megan Thee Stallion in Atlanta and twerk and shake her ass at a political rally to try to get votes from the black community, they saw that as the most insulting and degrading thing ever. Kamala Harris, who wanted to pretend to be in tune with the black community, ran to her advisors and asked, well, these dumb black people, they won't understand policy. So what can we do to get their vote? What are these black people like? And the fact that she came to the conclusion that showing them somebody twerking on stage at a political event shows a level of pandering that we've never seen in politics before. The left has this perception that black people are like these foreign creatures who don't want the same things as everybody else. Safe streets, opportunity to succeed in life, affordable housing, the ability to provide for their family. And so they always message to them in this insulting way. They talk to them like they're downtrodden victims who are incapable of succeeding at the same level as white people and Asians. While on the other hand, Donald Trump spoke to them as people. He said, hey, I think you're just as good as the next guy, and these DEI programs are insulting, and we don't need to lower the bar for you in order to have a feeling of achievement. I think you're just as capable, and I'm not going to treat you as if you're not. And black people gravitated towards that message. But liberals create a narrative in their head of what all black people must think and feel, and then get absolutely perplexed when that isn't the case. Here is Wesley Hunt schooling Bill Maher on why it is stupid and ridiculous to be renaming buildings that are named after Confederate generals.
I've been black my whole life.
Yes.
So far, still. My wife is white, and we have 3 biracial children, and I cannot wait to show them and take them to places that wasn't always the case. There was a time when your mother and daddy could not be married. My children are going to have the opportunity to be second lining down in New Orleans, and then my wife is from Iowa. They'll be on a farm with their grandfather in Iowa. That is America, and I do not want to take down these statues and change the names of these buildings because they're a reminder of what was, and if we don't remember it, we are doomed to repeat it.
Democrats get on their moral high horse and they create an imaginary scenario in which all black people are walking around crying and screaming and distraught because some building is named after Robert E. Lee. So without talking to black people or asking them if this is the case, the liberal mindset is to take it upon themselves to do something about it in the name of saving all of these poor, sad black people. It's called the bigotry of low expectations, and it's the mindset that Democrats implement towards any minority group. Robert E. Lee was a damn good general for the Union, and then he was loyal to his state and fought for the Confederacy. That is a part of our country's history, and it should be recognized. Robert E. Lee isn't automatically an evil man because you want to specifically look at a 4-year timeline and disregard anything else that he might have done that could have been positive. Democrats refuse to acknowledge anything positive about America, and frankly, it's one of the most annoying things about their platform. They're a one-trick pony where everything that the United States has ever done is bad, and everything should be about shame and guilt, even though objectively, we are the best country that's ever existed. And it leads to this deranged delusion of what reality actually is. Let me show you this clip of Whoopi Goldberg saying that blacks in America have it just as bad as women in Iran. And then I'll show you Wesley Hunt commenting on what she said.
I think it's very different to live in the United States in 2025 than it is to live in Iran.
Not if you're black.
Not for everybody.
Not if you're black.
Guys, don't go to Tehran. Do not, anyone at this table should go to Tehran.
Let me tell you about being in this country. This is the greatest country in the world. But, yeah, I know that. I know that. And we all know that. But every day, we are worried. Do we have to be worried about our kids? Are our kids going to get shot because they're running through somebody's neighborhood? They are not big deals, and I don't mean to say they're not big deals to you, because that's not what I meant.
And they are not doing well there either. They are not doing well in Iran.
Again, it's this level of exaggerated delusion that makes their entire party laughable. Whoopi Goldberg, worth $60 million, talks on TV for a living, earns $8 million per year, is saying black people in America have it just as bad as women in Iran. Women who get blinded for showing their hair in public, who have absolutely no rights under Sharia law. It's these kind of dramatic and childish claims that led them to say things like, Joe Biden might be the smartest and most active person living on planet Earth right now. They make it impossible for any rational person to agree with them. But let's hear what Wesley Hunt thinks about what Whoopi said.
My district in the great state of Texas is actually a white majority district that President Trump would have won by 25 points. As I said, I'm a direct descendant of a slave. My great-great-grandfather was born on a Rosedale plantation. I am literally being judged not by the color of my skin, but by the content of my character. That's the progress, because, like, a lot of white people had to vote for me. A lot.
So wait,
I don't even ever want to hear Whoopi Goldberg's conversation about how it's worse to be black in America right now. That's a bit far. And my father, who's 75 years old, he was a man that was in the French quarters that had to go get a sandwich to the back door of the building. And his son is now a United States Congressman in a white majority district in Texas as a Republican. That is America. That's America.
Democrats like Whoopi Goldberg, for some reason I cannot explain or understand, refuse to accept or acknowledge the positive progress made throughout American history. If you told aliens America was a country that was systemically racist and oppressive towards black people, and then showed them that we had a black president elected twice by a majority white country, the people who are supposedly racist towards the blacks, they would look at you like a complete moron. They made victimhood one of their main party ideologies because they thought it made them look sympathetic. But all it does is make them look weak and whiny. And that's why they're having a problem with male voters. No strong men who have ambition or pride want to subscribe to the ideology that their life is hopeless and everything sucks. But the Democrats believe that's the supreme way to live your life. The only men that ideology attracts are failures and losers who would much rather point fingers and find excuses for their shortcomings, blame the systems and the institutions. They instead elect to say, let's burn down all of capitalist Western culture, even though it's created the most prosperous and peaceful time in human history. Now, the last thing Wesley Hunt does, which I absolutely love, is smack down the panel for trying to clown Donald Trump's military parade.
Will fuck up the execution, just like they did with the parade. Like, do I think it was a good idea to have a parade? No, but if you're going to do it, if you're going to have a vaguely fascist parade, do it right.
I want to say something about the parade to offer another opinion from our side of this whole thing, and that is it was the 250th birthday of our United States Army.
Right.
As I said, thank you very much. And somebody that served this nation as an Apache pilot, again, my brother and sister going to West Point, 6 years of military service, mostly in the Army. My great-great-grandfather fought in the Civil War. And you know what I saw? I saw the president salute the Corps of Cadets as they walked past him. I watched him salute the 75th Ranger Regiment as they walked past him. I sat there and watched the fireworks behind the Washington Monument. And you know what I thought? Damn, that's absolutely outstanding. And it's far better than Joe Biden checking his watch when bodies were being returned to Dover.
Okay, wait a minute.
This is hold on. This is a contrast that we were talking about and why you lost. Because we are talking about a man that's talking about patriotism.
And there you have it. The Trump deranged syndrome from the left has caused their brains to fall out of their heads so much that they think it's a popular idea or talking point to bash the military and think that we shouldn't celebrate its 250th birthday. I mean, the only people who would applaud that statement are people who dislike the country, and that's what the left has become. If you have no respect for the history of the military and what they've done to protect our freedoms, I don't care what your woke explanation is, you're just an asshole. But again, it circles back to the idea that the liberals think that they're morally superior. They think that they're intellectually superior. They think because they have all of these worthless degrees, they are the spokespeople for the truth. Nobody except for overly educated, delusional, blue-haired lunatics who major in deconstruction of Western colonialism want to hate their country. The Democrats still don't understand. One of the reasons Donald Trump won is he said he was going to bring back American pride. And until the Democrats understand that their platform of America bad, America evil isn't going to win votes in America, they'll continue to lose and continue to be made the fool. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments section below. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you have not already. Turn on the notification bell so you never miss a video. And I will see you guys in the next one.